Hey, this is Minister Crystal Lax. The surgery went well. Of course, some soreness going on, but I'm doing good. The nurses they're so blessed, the nurses. Okay, pause. Let me put this on. So, today, Minister, what would you like to talk about? Funny that you ask. Hold on one moment. Okay. So I want you to see the scripture. I'm trying to hold two cameras. You see that? The book of Titus. Titus 2 to older men. So I'm going to read from it. It says, older men are role models for the church, expected to be sober-minded, dignified, self-control, and sound in their faith by this age, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. Come on now, because you are not no 16-year-old. Steadfastness, Titus 2:2, serving as spiritual examples for younger generation, while elders are also leaders, characterized by being approved above reproach, hospitable, lovers of good, not going around disciplining young people, recruiting young people to hate people. No, you should not be encouraging them to hate black people, white people, fat people, or nothing. You are not supposed to be inciting evil into the minds of the youth. At the end of the day, I'm not done with you yet. Lovers of good, discipline, Titus 1:5-8, and they must be spiritually healthy. That means you must have your spiritual life in order before you can be a spiritual role model to anyone else. You can't be an elder or deacon or leader in the church as a man, and your only objective is to sleep with young women of the church or any woman that'll give you the time of day. Okay, let's go. They must be spiritual healthy. You see, it says that. Okay. And demonstrating integrity, godly wisdom, and guide the church or mentor young believers in sound doctrine and godly living, and not just age but maturity. You know, a young man in his 20s can be so spiritual, mature, that he's just an old soul from another generation. He's more mature than a 50-year-old that is in human or mankind age, but spiritually he's so immature. He acts like a child. He behaves himself still like a child. He disrespects people like a child. He called people fat and skinny and ugly. You can tell that he has not spiritually matured. Though he have a role of an elder, a deacon, a teacher, you're trying to teach a class that is expecting a mature-minded spiritual man or woman. I'm going to get on YouTube about the women. Because why, minister? Because I'm tired of you blaming these kids, these young people. They don't know. They know how to go to work because we taught them how to do chores around the house and they get allowance. So they know how to do that well. We taught them to go to work. But what about the other things in life that they get confused about? And I feel like crying because I had to raise my son without a dad. And there were certain things that I could teach my son. Okay, that was the nurse coming in, so I have to pause it every now and then. But, I looked at my son. His dad wouldn't take no time out with him. Even as a grown man, as a grown man, your son done grew up with that male ego too. So they may not show you that I still need you, Dad. I need advice. I got women all around me. I don't understand this. I don't understand what I'm doing so wrong in these women's life. They don't know. They just playing it by ear. You didn't know in your 20s and 30s, so you made mistakes. By the age you reach 40 and 50 and 60 years old, 70, you should be able to lay down some golden nuggets for these young men. Their rage, they're hitting women, they're abusing women because some of you taught them that it was okay to be a male chauvinist. You taught them that it was okay to be a woman abuser. You taught them in order to get a woman to do anything, you got to hit her, you got to degrade her, you got to bash her. There's a couple of men older that figure that I'm impressing the young crowd on cyberspace instead of being a role model. I got this black fat woman teaching them to fat shame and disrespect and dishonor a woman at the age of 59 years old. It doesn't matter what color I am, because you're doing it. And you got all these young people, even if it's a young person doing it, your job is to correct their silliness and their foolishness. And hey buddy, if I have to turn you in, I will. Take that stuff off. You are the one that's supposed to be in control, because you're the older generation. You're so passive to the point where you let younger children, young people up under you, keep making follies, keep doing all of this disrespectfulness, violation of people's rights. And you, now that you so want to fit in with the young men, you want to fit in with young women, you're not following the book of Titus and being good role models. You letting them disrespect people's mother. You letting them disrespect people's grandmother. And then for the older men and women, hold up, wait a minute. You're going to stop blaming these young people that don't know. You didn't even know, because your daddy taught you how to abuse people. So you didn't know. So you was teaching, we was teaching our children what was taught to us. But we are the generation, if you 40, 50 years and up, we are the generation to break that. We could turn it around and have a better relationship with our children. Up there saying, I don't kiss ass. That is your child that got your DNA in them. What you talking about? Some dads that never was there for their child, saying, I don't take disrespectfulness off of no child. You didn't earn no goddamn respect from them. What do you mean? That mama was there. They was looking for you out the window, saying you never showed up. Now that they are older and they still have the audacity to give your sorry tale an open door, and you still got the nerves to close the door on them. No, you're not going to do them like that, because they babies and they're just now learning in this world. You go take your hurt to the Lord Jesus Christ. He's your healer. Maybe God have called you into the ministry to heal broken men that have broken families, and change the program and change the game. You don't have to go the way that your daddy and granddaddy went, and all the men of your family, and abusing the women and the children and even the dogs, the cat, and even a rat ain't got a chance in your path. Everybody in the house get abused by you. And then you try to cover it up and be the pillar of the community because you hate to be embarrassed, but you don't mind embarrassing other people. You don't mind bringing shame to an older woman to make yourself feel good or make yourself look good in front of young people. Now, young people, my message is this to you today. They think they look cute, huh? With receding hairlines, and some of the men, as they grow older, they have nothing to offer a woman in the bedroom because it shrinks medical-wise down there. They have bags up under their eyes and wrinkled skin when you look at them. Though they have fitness body, but they're aging men. They're old men. No matter how they try to play it up and play it down, they don't mind pointing out the flaws of an older woman. But in all reality, We are going to leave falsehood. We are going to leave any type of delusion that I'm still a young man. No, you are an older man that looks good for your age, but however, you are still older. And by this time, you should be more mature. You shouldn't be calling me ugly and fat and this fat bee and stuff along with young people. Young people, they shouldn't even be raised to disrespect me like that. You up here watching videos of an old woman being basically mistreated, exploited. And you as an older generation not saying not one damn word. Because we learn to be intimidated by the younger generation instead of taking authority. Even if that means that if you don't take it down, we will form a group up against you. And we will make sure, buddy, that you will not have your tail on any social media platform. And let us find out that you got her posted anywhere else. We will blackmail you back. We will get your tail back. It's like take her down or go to jail, buddy. Which one do you choose? Because nobody should have to put up with it. This woman just lost her son. It's so disrespectful to a mother. And it's so disrespectful to a grandmother. You don't do people like that. See, it's not until the older generation in Christ take that authority. But they're so out of control. Put them back in control. The same way how they like to group up, or then you group up. You ain't got to confront them. You lived 40, 50, 60 years on this earth to be law enforcement, judges, attorney. If you don't stop, you really don't want the business. That's all it takes, honey. You know your stuff. You got skills and experience. You ain't even got to touch them. You ain't even got to give your name. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Justice is justice. And righteousness is righteous. You don't do nobody mother like that. And then the older men and women do not encourage and incite it. According to Titus, I didn't have your tail up in that church house. You are showing the young people misrepresentation. You are showing them that you live a double life. One life you want to act like you the pillar of the community. Then the next life you want to go around doing hate signs and protests and speeches. And then you want to be up in that church. Well, how do you think? Step outside of yourself, sir and ma'am. How do you think the young people is viewing you from their perspective? How do you think I see you? Even the people that's older than me, how do you think that I see you? Because you're supposed to be a role model even to me at the age of 59. People that's older than me. Okay? This is a young person teaching older people about the Word of God. Now, we're going to the women. Women, under the same thing, you're supposed to be example to younger women. Now, I'm kind of appalled because I have lived an example before you. I may not be perfect, but I have lived a mentor example of a spiritual woman before you. You have ridiculed me, you have made fun of me, you have talked about me. But I have lived what the Bible says, older women, be example for the younger women. Don't gossip. Don't tear down people. Don't talk about people. I don't have the money, but I try to help other people. Try to help the poor. I'm showing you how to go to church. When you're a leader, I'm in a robe. You see me put pictures out there. A woman preacher, a woman pastor, but I'm in a robe, covered up because I got big boots. But I'm covered up. We don't supposed to be a stumbling block for the brothers or even the females in the church that's struggling with homosexuality tendency. We don't supposed to make them stumble if they're trying to change their life. The truth is truth. When you could Google it, older women leadership in the church. Hold up, I gotta put it on pause and then come back. Okay, not quite sure if you can see it, but hospitality as a role model, mentor, teaching, guide, young men and women in godly living. Am I not doing this for you right now? Am I not? When I put up certain, I have my moments because I'm a human being that's fighting a whole nation of people that it feels like just for trying to live a godly life. Like my mom said, my mom Beulah, she said, they talk about me, Chris, because I want to live for God. And they do. So it says, example, to demonstrate integrity and sound doctrine through their lives and serving as a pattern for good works, Titus 2:7. And then it says, as leaders, to provide spiritual oversight and to protect the flock from false teaching. I wish that you could really see this, but this phone sucks. This other phone sucks. And I can't move because I'm so sore down there in the area. So I have to use two phones. I can't wait till I get like a better setup here. But people think that I'm not worth having my own church and having my own ministry van so that we can do the Jesus Christ outreach, homeless outreach, passing out salvation flyers and whatever else that we get in donation, and traveling to Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, all the surrounding areas. That's the ministry, JCM, Jesus Christ Ministry Van. Okay? Oh, I'm not going to be just one person doing it. God going to send me people now. And it might just be you. You might not want to do it. But when the Holy Spirit get a hold of you, he going to make you do it anyway. He going to tell you whatever that woman want. Remember when Jesus was turning water into wine? And Mary, his mother, the top dog, Mary. Because everybody talk about the, the harlot, Mary Magdalene. But wait a minute. What about the woman that carried a Jesus? That gave birth to a Jesus. So she said, listen, whatever he tell you to do, you just do it. You understand? So when God tell you to do it, your job is not to argue with him. Your job is just to do what? Hey, you better recognize that God is in leadership. Yeah, God will make my enemies to become at peace with me. God will make my enemies donate to the ministry. God will make my enemies give to the ministry. God would make our enemies give us things. If you notice that every time when God went to battle with the children of Israel and they defeated the enemies, did they not go away with extra sheeps and calves and all of that? The enemies get tired of you. Like, here, take this and go away from us. You guys are a curse to us. Trust and believe that. What else do y'all need? So that y'all can go on about your journey. Okay. Okay, the nurses, they keep coming back and forth. So, anyway, as you see, you go to the book of Titus because this phone is like this. I need a whole brand new, better phones system going on here so I could do more and more online, international, worldwide, because people laugh at me when I say worldwide. Well, let me ask you a question, a sound, rational, logical question. When we go on the internet, is it global? Is it worldwide? Oh, okay. So when I'm doing my messages, when I put it up on YouTube, it's reaching other places as well. Okay, because some people, I don't know if they came from the blue light, special room, with the blue light, special, special learners. But anyway, so when I say worldwide, I also mean virtual worldwide as well. So we going worldwide because I want the ministry to be big because I've been so hurt throughout my whole life, and I've taken every pain that a person can even imagine on my shoulders. What do you mean? I'm not Jesus. Exactly. But I went through dang near everything that some of you have gone through except drug use. But I've had children on drugs. To see your loved one all drugged out, and you don't want to see them being like that. You understand me? Foster care, childhood abuse, sexual abuse. I mean, really, if I tell you my whole story, you would think that it's made up, but it's not. It's real life. The same way how they're cyberbullying me, stalking me, harassing me, trying to cyber rape me. What do you mean by cyber rape? If I did not give people consent to come into my life, that's just like a man or a stepdaddy coming into your bedroom as a young child and raping you. It's no different. They're just using cameras nowadays. Okay? And these men are older men and they know better than doing people like that. Okay? So this is my message. My message is for a cry for the young people's souls. You can't reach the young generation if you don't correct the older generation error. Because don't forget, the older generation also learned from misinformed people as well before their generation. And it was passed on, passed on, passed on. But you have the power to break any misconcept about Jesus and God and religion off of your generation before the young people just start doing the same pattern as you. Okay? Let them speak the word. Let them show how they glorify God. Never oppress their power, their freedom of expression. That Dominique of mine. Oh my God. Dominique, I always let the kids express themselves. Just put it in decent and in order, because sometimes their expression is disrespectful, right? But I still give them the freedom to express themselves, because I grew up in a era where children are to be seen and not heard, not express yourself, not speak up for yourself. Until we heard like those rebellious songs back in the days, like "We're Not Gonna Take It," I'm in control by Janet Jackson, and we just started rebelling. You understand? But rebelling in a good way, that we have a right to think for ourselves. We have a right to make our own decision without our parents dictating, teachers, everybody in society dictating to us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't allowing us to be our own full grown and developing person, if you will. Okay? So I looked at my son, Antoine, because I had to raise him without a man. I tried to surround them by positive church-going, men that would deposit, even if they never stayed in the picture for that long. But I try to bring them up in the church or try to have a positive role model what they was growing up. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. Once they get teenagers, the street is their role model. The street is their role model. The street was some of your role models. And now that you got sons, are you going to let the streets raise your babies? Does another man from the streets have to raise your baby, your sons, your grandsons? What's up, cuz? You say that the street is your family, right? When you going to grow up out of that? Because now you say that you go to church, you're an elder of the church, you're a pastor of the church, right? You're supposed to bring your street family into your church family. Don't you care about their soul? Don't you care about their life dying out there on the streets? Hey, right? Reaching out to them on the street, to your street family. It's all drugged out. They, mentality-wise, they cut out on the street, but they still need to eat. Feel me? I think that it's time for men revival, women revival. This is not to cut you down, but it says that a wise person don't mind being corrected or recalled to your remembrance, how you're supposed to be in front of the young people. My son, Antoine Jermaine Lax, that was murder. My son, that's how God call you. My sons, the prodigal sons that went out to the streets, the world, and that's your family. When you gonna roll back home to God? That's what he want to know. When you coming back to your real home? Out there in the world trying to impress men, young men, you too old, prodigal son. You're supposed to be role models to the young people so they don't get killed too soon, too late. How did you last 40 and 50 and 60 years and 70 years? Why don't you be a mentor to them? You used to run the streets, right? That's what you brag about. Tell them, what did you do positive to keep you from being killed out there on the streets, to keep you away from drugs, to keep you away from alcohol? Mine was my education. Mine was writing, journaling, writing books, praying to God. Instead of turning towards drugs, God's word, the book of Proverbs for young people, was my healing tool, was my wisdom. When my mama and daddy, I didn't have a mom and dad, really, was adopted out, in and out of foster cares. The Bible in the book of Proverbs and Psalms was my mama and my daddy. In my early 20s, that helped me with my kids. Then I took parenting class. If you want to break the yoke of all the beating and the way how you talk to your children, because remember, when they get older, and if we use our grandmama and grandpappy and our mama's and daddy ways, they going to grow up mad as hell at you. Then they go, then they go try to fight you. Yeah, you remember when you took that iron cord and what are you understanding what I'm saying? So you want to get some good parenting thing going on while you still got a chance. Because we didn't know better. They taught us, and we did a little bit of that until we took a parenting class. If you're abusive and your daddy said this is how you do it, why don't you join a domestic violence program, organization? Don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution. Admit that you got this problem, because I've seen it my whole life and I don't want it to be passed on. Be honest about your mess. You're a street dude, right? You're a thug, gangster. Then be honest. You got heart, right? Can I get streets on you a little bit? You got heart, nigga? Huh? You got heart, right, nigga? Then that means stick your chest out and admit to what you are. And admit that I have been an abuser. I have been a drunk. I have been an alcoholic. I have been a drug user. But I'm looking to get myself right. That's it right there. It's almost like when you go to a job interview. And the interview says, well, I see that you haven't worked in a while. Well, to be honest with you, I have been in a homeless situation. I have been going through hardship. And I haven't been able to keep up with my skills. However, I am always willing to learn something new. So you taking your negative, baby, and you flip it into a positive. So yes, I am an abuser to women because I was trained to be that way. But however, use that however, I am looking to break the chain and that curse that's been on the men of my family, so I don't pass this type of mentality down to my sons and my grandsons and nephews, that I may be a good role model to them, that when I'm in the presence of women, they will hear me speak good about women. They will hear me speak respectful, and then they will catch up on it, and then they will be raised to speak respectful. You understand? The same way with women. Okay, we're not just looking for an ATM machine the way that we've been trained. We are looking at men. My son was a human being. We was trained to just see him as an ATM machine and a credit card. I may joke around, but I acknowledge you as a human. That's why I don't like for a man to sit up there act like he Mr. Boncho. Yeah, I'm tough nigga. I don't have no pain. Man, you must not be human. You must be an AI or a robot. Because all humans cry. All humans got pain. All humans get hurt. You can't be walking around with that facade. Don't no woman want a man to just act like he don't have no emotion. Now I understand that with certain women, when they know that you vulnerable, they like to play mind games, and you need to stop that. And you wonder why men walk the hell away from you, because instead of you communicating with them appropriately, you want to play mental game. Nobody have time for your crisis. Nobody have time for your mental game. If you love a person, why would I play mental games with you? Why would I sit up there and manipulate you? Why would I have to manipulate a man that I love or a woman that I love? I said I love you. I'm not trying to harm you. I'm trying to be like God. God said that the plans, the thoughts that I have for you are never evil towards you. I'm not in competition with my mate. I'm not in competition with the person that I said that I love. All of us should be striving, if you will. That's why I wrote that book. Why give up or quit in the middle of your faith race? Because you're running a race of faith. Run. Run strong and finish it. That means two couples. Your teammate. That means that, I used to run tracks. And, oh, that hurts. And you will probably start off first. Then you run real fast until you get to your teammate. Then you pass the baton. Well, what you're doing now is that we about ready to, our generation before us has died off or is dying off. You know, we're going to miss them when they go, but it's just a circle of life. Sorry. Sorry. So, as they're dying off, our generation going to die off. And we're going to pass the baton to them. Do you want the baton? Do you want it where they're dealing with racism and their biracial children? Huh? You showing them white and black, even though that they get older, they got to work together. They still got to live together. What do you want for your future, young people? Huh? You wonder why they so mad. Nobody hearing them. Nobody want to hear them. They try to take that energy and put it into rap. Maybe if I rap this stuff out of my system. I used to write books and journals and poems and poetry so I could get this thing out my system of being raped and molested and child abuse and abuse as a child. Why you laughing? The younger generation, because you shouldn't be laughing at older people. I mean, older people that's trying to tell you the right thing. At least they're trying. That's trying to not preach to you some doctrine that they made up. No, they opened up the Bible to show you where it's at. They're trying to show you, and you're making fun of us, the older generation, the older chosen one, to try to guide the younger generation. Nobody can choose for you. Nobody can make choices or decisions. The only thing that we can do is just tell you where it's at in the Bible and try to live it. We're not going to be perfect. So if you're looking for someone to put up on a pedestal, you got the wrong one, baby. Because I got so many flaws and mistakes. I really don't understand why God called me. For real, it's like, these are some bad baby kids of yours. You could take your kids back and watch your own kids, truth be told. You know, I have my moments where I talk to God, and I could just imagine Moses. Moses had the most stubborn children of Israel. They is called children of Israel. They're children of God, right? They was the most bad baby kids that you could ever see. When Moses told them, don't make idols, they did anyway. They did the opposite. So I also know what it's like to carry that load of Moses on you. You know, even just by my own personal race, my children was a nation within a nation upon a nation. And there was only 4 people. You understand? Yeah, the most stubborn and hard-headed and repeat the same pattern over and over. Like, do you haven't learned? Because it takes me about 1 or 2 times. And it's like, okay, Lord, I'm tired of the belly of the fish. Are you getting what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong? A couple of them, I did drop them out of my arm when they was a baby. Maybe that had something to do with, wait a minute, Lord. I did before I had them. I drank some castor oil and some gin. So, you know, they came out a little toasty a little bit. You know, that was the thing back in the days where they, you know, you carried your baby far too long and you ready to get that baby out. And the doctor said that it's going to be another week. And you said, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm about ready to go home and do what my grandmama said. And I'm going to drink a whole bottle of castor, you know, a small little bottle of castor oil. And you put some orange juice in it. And then you mix it with a little alcohol. Yep, and I guarantee you, your contractions begin to start, and you going in labor that same night. By the time you take a doo-doo, it's on and cracking. I'm just keeping it real with the real, on the get down real, for real, for real. So at the end of the day, I'm about ready to wrap it up. It's like going on 40 minutes. You know me. I always say that I'm going to do something short, and it end up long. But I feel that if it's touch hearting, and I'm reaching out to the young people and the old. Okay? This is not to criticize you. This is not to down you as older people. But this is for you to look at yourself and reflect. Are you really being a role model? And we're not talking about where I'm not nobody role model. True, but you know, when we're in God, we are. If you want the role and the position of a deacon, you are a role model. If you want the position of discipleship and to teach the class, you are a role model. Your whole entire life become on the spot because you're a star for God. Now, you maybe not for the world, but you rocking a title in God's kingdom. See, we are all ambassadors. Ambassadors are like these high, powerful people. Evangelists, ministers, pastors, apostles. Do you see where God took you from being a drug dealer and a ho-ho to put you up here? Or you just about the title? You really don't see the position that you representing. So you live in your title and your life before young people. We're talking about active people. We're not talking about someone that's still down here on the ground because nobody see us. They just trample all over my little 3-year-old ministry. It's not until I blow up. Then all of a sudden, oh, now you recognize us. Wow. We've been here for about 3 years. Been up there posting on Facebook for 3 years. Okay. So, but we're talking about you. You are active. You're behind that pulpit. You got the little collar around your neck. But at the end of the day, hold up, hold up, hold up. A young person is believing in your words, right? Because you're the man or the woman up there on the pulpit. What kind of example, mentor, are you wearing before them? Your own personal lifestyle is yours. But when it comes to God, it is His. It ain't about you. It's almost like my weakness is cigarettes, and I cuss. But once I get in that place of worship, it's about God. It's about His children, and for me not to be a stumbling block. My pastor always said that because she had her flaws too, but she refused to do it around us because it would be a stumbling block. You understand? It would taint our image of her being up there on the stage and you in this tight dress. You look like you can't tell me not to be a ho-ho when you dress like one in the church. Then you're going to have that rebelliousness and that sassy attitude. Put your robe on, honey. Or go, they got all kind of styles, honey, for women in ministry. Okay, honey. At the end of the day, I'm going to trim down just a little bit so my hips don't be standing out. But they got some nice little ministry clothing at the end of the day. And you still look like a woman of the cloth instead of looking like a woman of the street, honey. You remember you gave that up a long time ago. So those clothes need to be left behind. You don't like it? Go to the Bible. Go to the Bible, the book of Titus, and go to God. That who she thinks she is, a woman of God. A woman of God that's trying to tell everybody about somebody. I'm nobody, but I'm a woman of God. And I'm supposed to correct you. It says that we're supposed to we got to remind each other who we are in Christ. And that these young people is watching. Don't do them like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know that they don't know everything. They act like they know. We know that. We know that. But we can help them from a distance just by us living the life. Just by us just doing our best to go as close to the Word of God as possible. I tell you what, they can never say that Miss Lax gossip about people. They probably every now and then hear me cuss. They could say that about me. And she smokes cigarettes. That's what they can say. They can't say that she going around sleeping with this man and that man. They don't see me like that. They see me at the majority of the time at the home or at the wherever I may be. They don't see me going from neighbor to neighbor, gossiping and slandering people's names, do they? No. No. I'm trying. It's not a matter of being a good doer. It's a matter of being a God word follower. Submitting and being obedient to God's instruction on how we as believers and faith believers and Christian and whatever else kind of little religious name that you want to name us. But we can't call ourselves that if we don't live it. If we don't apply it. Remember, not just 20-year-olds are watching us. What's the first thing that they said? Yeah, but you're supposed to be role model for me. That's anger. That's you're supposed to be a role model for me. Well, listen, you might be the role model for me on showing me how to get this today money, cuz. But I can only be a role model for you on a spiritual tip. See, young and old got something to give and receive. They are so keen on today AIs that they know how to make money within a matter of 2 minutes. I mean, two hours. Probably not even that. Like, how the heck you get stacks of money like that? And we had to work $3, $2, and work 8 hours. And they say, no, we working smart. We ain't doing all that. Well, mama and grandmama did. We ain't doing that. So they broke the mold and that generation curse on that, right? So I'm quite sure with the right young person, oh, they could show me how to do something, and I probably would be so shocked at how much money I'm finally seeing after all these years and believing and praying in God. You understand? I believe that that one young person will have the power and ability to show me how to make money in this new futuristic age that we got going on here. But they may be lacking spiritual. You see how we can balance the scales? So I can also not tell them what to do because that's a grown man and woman. But at the end of the day, I can also, where they lack or they don't get an understanding of the Bible, I can also balance them. They could be 20, 30, 40, young 40-year-olds that never knew nothing about God or Christ or the church. You understand me? But they know everything about those AI they had the computers. You understand? So at the end of the day, don't do that to them. We're not right to do that. My son, if he had, I cried because I tried to contact his uncle in Texas to try to reach out to him. I tried to contact men to try to reach out to him because he was surrounded by women, women, women. You know, even the dog was a female. So there was no male that when he's going through and he's not understanding things, you understand? They don't understand and they need that male figure because my dad wasn't there. And even at my age, he still refused to be there for me. How disrespectful and a slap in the face that my heart was so open to even receive him if he would have approached me. You know, some dads is saying all of this, I ain't got kissed my son ass. Well, what if God told you that? I ain't got to kiss your ass. I ain't got to forgive you. I ain't got to have no grace and love and mercy for you. Some of you is only living because the mercy, mercy, mercy of God. So you should have been dead a long time ago. You just didn't see those angels that God sent out to protect you from those bullies that should have been you. Huh? You got sons that's still living. Especially if you're a black man. The average black young man, if he make it past the age of 25, according to statistic, he is blessed. Brother, you are blessed, sir. So you as black men, don't you do your sons like that. And your daughters, oh, your babies. Sometimes we get mad. I get mad at the girls seem to be like they was the hardest. I had 2 boys and 2 girls. And they was just hard. They seemed like they was the boys. Just hard-headed, hard-headed, hard-headed. The boys, they go with their friends doing their thing, you know, about their business. The girls was hard-headed. Just hard-headed. Hard-headed, repeating the same thing. Then the guys will raise them to, your mama just jealous of you, so I had to go through this, that you just jealous of me and my no good abusive boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Until he takes a box cutter and almost kill you. Then you see what your mama is talking about. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I took my daughters. I was a perfect mom, but I was a bad mom. I worked all the time, and I whooped their ass when they needed it. I'm telling you the truth. Shame the devil, because it was taught to me, and I passed it down until I took parenting class, and I apologize. Never get so grown, I'm your mama and daddy, to the point that you don't iron that stuff out with them. Even if you made mistakes in their childhood life, and they just looking for you for validation because they still young and they still remember it. And that's what I was looking for when I got raped at 12. And I wanted to sit down with the people that they call my mom. Well, he still wouldn't receive it. But she said, it was not your fault. You was only 12 years old. And I needed that so bad that I forgave her. It's like immediately took the load off of me that it was all my fault. You understand? So I get with my children, and if we have an argument or something, I apologize. I don't wait till my children, well, they better come back to me and apologize to me because I'm the parent. But we're not always right. We're not always right as parents. We're not always right. Sometimes they're right on point because they're living in today's society. They see what's going on, and we all the way back in the 80s and 90s in some of our minds. So at the end of the day, we learn to say we agree but disagree, and we try to apologize before the night is over. Now that was a good thing that I was taught, that you don't go to bed angry with each other. You learn to apologize. Oh, my aunt that I grew up with in Indiana, oh, we used to get a whooping. Me and my sister that I grew up with, who I called my sister, oh, we'd get a whooping if we had a fight. And we refused because we're mad at each other, and we refused to talk to each other and apologize. Oh, she'll come up in that room. Now, you have a choice, and she'll show us that milk. You have a choice. Apologize, or you could get this. And we'll look at each other and it's like, I'm sorry. Because we don't want that whooping. Well, I'm sorry too. And then we'll wait till she go out the room, and we may say our little things and go to sleep. But at that moment, we apologize. See, why is that important? And then I'm about ready to close, if you don't mind. It's important because after all your money, I love the Temptation where they sing that song about Sadie, you know, that in the end, you find out that it's not money, it's just the love that people give you. It's their present that they leave behind that you miss more than anything. You miss being able to hug them. You miss being able to hear their laugh. Or Crystal is so annoying. Oh my God, she gets on my nerves. But she was there though, getting on your nerves. You even miss that part about people, right? Right? When they're faded away, because life had faded them away for good. It's not your money. It's not your things. It's not your looks. It's the love that they brought to you, the acceptance that the world was willing to reject you. But in the midst of all that rejection, they received you. Hey, you remember that, I don't know, some of you being that rejected kid in school, in the cafeteria. Nobody wanted to sit with you. You're the cootie girl or the cootie boy. And then you had this one friend or a couple of friends that bring their lunch tray over there to you. And they sit down right by you and you become best friend ever since then. Huh? That's how the world do us. And that's how I am. I'm your best friend that'll come over there and sit with you because you're being rejected by the world. That's how God is with us. He our top daddy, big G, big J, JC. Because the world rejects us and spit us out as outcasts and black sheep and spotted sheets and look at you freaks and weirdos. Think about how you living and how you felt in school and on the workplace, how they single you out of everybody else. You that person that everybody told jokes and you the butt of the jokes. How do you feel? Hold it. How did you feel? How do you feel when that happened to you? So why would you go around doing that to other people and you too grown for that? That tells you that you need healing in that area in order for you to heal other people that is hurt in that area. That's all. We go through things so that we can get ourselves healed. Because I used to couldn't talk to people, not on the computer, not on the video, and not in live person. I was so not just shy, bitter, angry as a young person that this happened to me. And nobody was there to protect me. Nobody would speak up. Nobody would say, that's not right. And I'm going to report your ass for touching that child like that. You understand me? That's all I need to hear. Like, and yeah, thought that you was gonna get away with touching me. You know what I'm saying? That's all a kid need is that superhero. You know what I'm saying? That one superhero or a group of superhero that say, "Let us find out that you touched that child." Oh, again, it's on and cracking, baby. You feel me? They're like a hero to you. Whether it's a police officer, a social worker, whether it's just people in the community, it takes a village to raise children. And when you see somebody abusing a child, when you see somebody mistreating a young child that can't speak up and they can't defend themselves because they too tiny, or even a disabled person or elder. Wait, let me tell you something because this could be my mama. I'm gonna tell you one more story, and then I'm a vamp. In Redwood City, I was in a wheelchair after I came from the hospital, and I was out at the bus station, and this guy he came across friendly because he had soda for sale. You know, he was selling soda and water. So I was like, man, we both can do a business. Out here because I get something, and I can probably buy you some things for your thing. So he came across very cool at first. Then he started calling me bees and offering me $40 to go to a hotel room with her, just being very disrespectful. Well, I hung out with, you think that I'm a big woman. Well, this woman, and she had a shape to her, just big. So her and I, Nene, I think it was Nene, hang out while we were waiting on the bus. Her husband and Hispanic friends, we're all just kicking it and chilling while we're waiting at the bus stop for a bus, right? So he seen me and he decided that he wanted to be bold and come over there and approach me where my friends was. Oh, good God Almighty! And he handed out his hotel room information, and he said, "Oh, you can bring your friend too." He said, "Yeah, B," and I said, "What did he call me?" Cause see, I always carried a shank on me in California, because these men are crazy up there. They're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I had my San Francisco jacket on. I think a couple of pictures you'll see me with that San Francisco jacket, but in my pocket, I'm always carrying. You know what I'm saying? So he leaned down enough where if I wanted to, because I was waiting for that man to disrespect me one more time, because that I don't deserve to be treated like that, and I don't deserve to be called that. And I was going to give him the business, but before I could do it, you understand? Before I could get him in that area, my friend, the Hispanic guy, I forgot his name, uh, Eddie, my friend, he man punched that man. Ah, he said, wait a minute. He said, what did you call her? She a beat. Don't you agree? I mean, you know what I'm saying?